He took 100 pounds of clay, and then he said, hey, listen, I'm gonna fix this world today, because I know what's missing. Then he rolled his big sleeves up, brand new world began. He created a woman and lots of loving for man. Oh, yes he did, with just 100 pounds of clay.
On March 8th, 1974, I married my soulmate, Margie. Life has been a continuous series of adventures since then. Join us in this film as we celebrate our golden anniversary at the beach's Turks and Caicos Resort with our family. It had been a long trip getting here, so as soon as we had settled into our rooms, we knew the first stop had to be the lazy river at Pirates Island. We enjoyed the rest of the day and much of the next day hanging out here. Everyone got to go on the big water slides. But there was more to do at Pirates Island, so we drifted over towards the children's pool and the water slides. The slides in the kids' pool were geared for the young and young at heart. The pool was a perfect place for Wells to test out his snorkel and fins. They had been a Christmas present for the trip. Every pool at the resort had a hot tub associated with it. As the day wore on, we eventually drifted into the hot tub at this pool with some drinks from Bobby D's. A big shout out to my two event coordinators, Annie and Beth, who made sure that our butler reserved and stocked a cabana for us each day at the pool of our choice. And the cabana was decorated with different origami beach towels. Our local pool cabana was conveniently located near the hot tub, bar, and restaurant, and right across from our room. The cooler was filled with ice and the drinks we had requested in advance. Of course, we could also order specialty drinks from the bar, and snacks were delivered later in the day. We even had the butler deliver our lunch here one day. The wind chill in Chicago was minus 25 degrees. For us, however, it was nice to have a place to get out of the sun to relax. It was amazing how good a dip in the hot tub could feel after frolicking in the pool. Our part of the resort, called Seaside, had two pools, one on each side of our rooms. And in the cannonball contest, I think they captured my good side on film. What do you think? Leave a comment. At night, they lit up the pools with colored lights. You would think the youngins would have had enough of swimming all day long. But no, the pools never closed, so they went for a night dip. Every pool had a swim-up bar. Only Wells, the youngest, managed to visit all of them. You would often find him alone at the bar ordering his favorite drink, strawberry and banana smoothie. Here he is at the kiddie pool bar with Mom and Tessa. He took us on a world tour, pools and bars like the French and Italian villages. At the Italian village, he got us a table in the pool and even met a friend, Cookie Monster. The Iguana bar was in the Caribbean village, and when there was no bar, he hit up Curls and Swirls for a shake. I'm not sure, but it might have been Grandma who was encouraging all this bar hopping. Or was it Aunt B at the Cabana? We occupied 2 of the 3 suites in our building. We were less than 100 feet from the beach. Scott and Annie's unit was right next to ours, and it was just a few steps from our patio to the pool. We had 3 patios, one for each room in our suite. In our pre-arrival, we had specified which alcohols the bar in our suite should be stocked with. Various animals stood guard at our front and back doors at night, like the cat on the patio and the yellow-crowned nighthawk over the front door. Our butler brought breakfast to our suite before we got up. Some of us preferred to have breakfast on the patio, while others enjoyed the buffets. I had 2 favorite restaurants for breakfast. The rooftop restaurant called Sky, with a view over the ocean, was a nice place to enjoy an omelet while watching the dive boats leave for the day. Giuseppe's in the French Village was my top place to go to. I could have a crepe here with chocolate syrup and berry compote. We usually met up for lunch at a restaurant like Arizona's, an outdoor Tex-Mex restaurant, or Bobby D's in the water park. The kids would sometimes just grab something from the mac and cheese truck, where they could have a mac and lobster bowl. Our butler reserved a table for us each night at dinner. Beth or Annie would have told them which restaurant we wanted to go to and at what time. A table would be waiting for us, and we were seated when we arrived. Every night was a different experience, like here at Kimonos. We had a choice of 20 restaurants to choose from. Dress attire was resort casual, like collared shirts, etc. Barefoot by the Sea was a seafood restaurant set in the sand. Shoes were optional that night. Some evenings you were just too tired to eat. The Caribbean is home to some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Grace Bay, where the resort is located, is protected by the 3rd largest barrier reef in the world. The pure white sands and warm turquoise water is a great example of this paradise on earth. Not to mention a great place to get those sunset beach pictures. We had so much fun snorkeling with the grandchildren at the Coral Gardens, where they got to see reef fish like these blue tang. The Coral Gardens is a coral reef accessible right off the beach, with examples like this brain coral. We spotted many of these Mr. and Mrs. parrotfish and this colorful stoplight parrotfish that was sleeping. Margie and Tessa were swimming side by side and pointed out features like these colorful purple soft corals to each other. Scott is very good at finding creatures under the water that the rest of us miss, like this spiny lobster hiding in the rocks. Margie went out snorkeling by herself one time, where she saw and filmed this beautiful white-spotted eagle ray. There was a lot more to the resort than just our seaside village. Right next to the French village was the outdoor theater, where they had 2 nightly shows. The Italian village was in the center of the resort with a large courtyard pool. The Key West village featured individual houses with their own pools. The French village was laid out with a large grassy area between the pool and buildings, giving it an airy feel. The resort is over a half a mile wide. There were trams to shuttle you, but it was easy enough to walk from point to point. What's a trip to the Caribbean if you don't get your hair braided? Son gave Tessa a lesson in chess, while Tessa schooled a couple of boys in basketball. It wasn't just a great beach for swimming and snorkeling. There were lots of water sports as well. Scott and Wells went sea kayaking, and I took the kids out for some sailing on the Hobie Cat. The constant trade winds make sailing here so much fun. We all went out on the glass bottom boat tour. They take you out to the barrier reef to see the fish and coral. Scott loves scuba diving and was excited to hear that scuba was included in the activities at the resort. He signed up for 3 dives right after we arrived. Each trip included 2 different dive locations, so 6 dives in total. He dove in these locations: Aquarium, Pinnacle, Chimney, Coral Gardens, Piranha Cove, and Grouper Hole. He thought they had excellent equipment. What you see here is their gear. Notice no wetsuit. The water was a constant 79 degrees. The dive master would use different hand signals to point out sites, like this signal for turtle. They were paired up with a dive buddy for safety. In this scene, he and his buddy are descending into the chimney.
The fish on the land ain't happy. They sad 'cause they in the bowl. But fish in the bowl is lucky.
Scott was in the advanced open water group, and they were allowed to dive down to 90 feet. His dives took him to larger coral reefs and a greater variety of fish than what we saw while snorkeling. These lionfish almost seem to be doing a choreographed dance, but they are an invasive species and not native to the Caribbean. Angelfish like this one are known for their curiosity. The variety of coral colors and shapes are amazing to see. And just try to imagine the time it took to grow this coral canyon. Check out these Christmas tree worms. I don't know what this big guy's called, but he's hanging out with a school of mahogany snappers. Pay attention to the trumpet fish in the background. He's going to hide in a coral. See how he blends in? Here's a hermit crab moving his mobile conch shell home. In all, Scott saw 6 reef shark and a nurse shark during his dives. Sometimes the coral is just so beautiful, it almost looks artificial. Check out the yellow snapper following the stingray. All the dives ended with a mandatory 3-minute safety break before they could surface.
There are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. That's a fact. It's a thing we can't deny. Like the fact that I will love you till I die. We are 12 billion light years from the edge. That's a guess. No one can ever say it's true, but I know that I will always be with you. I'm warmed by the fire of your love every day. So don't call me a liar, just believe everything that I say. There are 6 billion people in the world, more or less, and it makes me feel quite small, but you're the one I love the most of all. of the love that you give me every night. There are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. That's a fact. It's a thing we can't deny, like the fact that I will love you till I die. And there are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. And you know that I will love you till I die.
One, two, three, four.
Wait.
And a pillow for my head, I got a pencil full of lead and some water for my throat. I got buttons for my coat and sails on my boat. So much more than I needed before. I got money in the meter and a turbo heater. Oh, and now it's getting on the road. It's only getting sweeter. I got legs on my chairs and a head for a hair. Bought it up pan and some shoes in my feet. I got a shelf full of books and most of my teeth. Few pairs of socks and a door with a lock. I got food in my belly and a license for my telly. And nothing's
I'm warm by the fire of your love every day. So don't call me a liar, just believe everything that I say.
most of the means and scripts for the scenes. I'm out and about, so I'm in with a shout. I got a favorite chat, but better than that. Food in my belly and a license for my telly, and nothing's gonna bring me down. I'm out of blow that hard, man.
There are 6 million people in the world, more or less, and it makes me feel pretty small. But you're the one that I most adore.
Music interlude.
It's gonna be a banger.